Hiya, thanks for joining me. I think you might be the first one. Yeah, I'm doing really well, thanks. It's been quite a busy day at work. So yeah, I'm glad it's the weekend is all I'm going to say. But yeah, it's been good. We just had some dinner. Um, Normally we wouldn't, well, I say I wouldn't eat as much that I had tonight for dinner. We had honey roast ham, potatoes and veg. Um, but yeah, normally I would try to have something light like a salad or soup or whatever. But yeah, I've got way in tomorrow morning, so looking forward to it. How are you? How are you, Fat Last Story? And Jan Parry, hiya Denise, hiya. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully more people join in because I did give you some notice this time. Obviously, I did do a live earlier this week, and it was the first ever live that I'd done, but it was purely a test. I wasn't doing it to, you know, not tell you about it, but I did want to just try it just to see how it actually works because YouTube isn't always the easiest of things to work out how to use. So yeah, looking forward to doing this live with you guys. Thanks for coming along. Hi Denise and everyone, how are you all? Hi Dormouse, lovely to see you come on. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. Hope you're well. And Anne Marie, hello from Ireland. Denise, lovely to see you again. Thanks for joining. Marilyn, you look great. Thank you. I don't actually feel that great tonight. I feel quite tired. It's been a busy week. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope you are as well, Marilyn. And Fat Last Story, you're doing okay. You're still plodding on. Got my little Fat Last journey. I'm still catching up on your story. So yeah, I've got a lot of videos to work through. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, hopefully it's a good comparison between like now and before. Yeah, when I look back at the initial videos, I remember that time, obviously. I've not got amnesia. Well, sometimes I wish I did. I didn't look like that, but hey, I did. And I didn't feel very good. But looking back, I can see such change, and it's really positive for me. Um, so yeah, hopefully it'll be useful for you as well. And if you have any questions, obviously you can comment. And if you don't want to comment on any of my videos, you can email me at scottishfoodielassie@gmail.com, and that's open to anyone, to email me anytime. Um, Dormouse, you love my top. I actually got this in the next outlet shop. So there are outlets probably about half an hour's drive away from us, maybe slightly longer. But I managed to get this in the outlet shop and I absolutely loved it. I wear it to the gym, wear it out walking my dog, and it's really comfy. So when I got it initially, it wasn't tight, but it was a bit more tight than I'd like it to be. But it's pretty loose now. But it's really comfortable. So yeah, it was also an excellent price, which I love. So yeah, Jan, you're doing well. You went for your weigh-in on Wednesday after a week off. Instead of my expected gain, you lost half a pound and got my 1.5 stone award plus my Club 10. Oh, that's fantastic. Well done, you. Especially if you were expecting a gain, it's even better if you manage to get an award as well as a loss. So that's really, really good. You should be really happy and proud of yourself for that. But yeah, the Fat Last Story, I love a bargain. I have been using Vinted to basically buy all of my workwear. So I think in the last 2 weeks or so, I have worn a dress most days to work with tights and boots. Now, never have I ever worn a dress to work. It's just not a thing I'd ever felt comfortable to do before. But every single day this week, I think every single day this week I have worn a dress to work and it honestly has felt really empowering. Everyone has commented so nicely about what I've been wearing, and for the sort of thumbnail for this video I'm wearing like a leopard print dress, and I did buy that from Vinted. It had the labels on it and everything, and I got it for I think it was like £5. So I've bought lots and lots of different clothes from Vinted over the last wee while. But as I said, with regards to the dresses, most of them have had the tags on them. And they are from Sainsbury's. They're from like the two range in Sainsbury's. But Sainsbury's have always got a really good sale on anyway for clothing, and certainly the one closest to us is about 20 minutes away. And I've had some really, really good bargains from there. But yeah, all of the dresses that I've had or bought this week have cost me £5 each. And I think most of them were about £28 each from the shop if you were to buy them brand new. So yeah, it's an absolute saving, to be honest, isn't it? So I'm really, really happy with that. And as I said, lots of people have commented and been like, "Oh, you look so nice today," or "Oh, I love your dress," or "Oh, that really suits you." And it's quite strange because no one has ever commented on me at work. So I'm still trying to get used to that, but I'm trying to own it because I do feel a lot better. And I'm sure all of you guys do as well with your own weight loss journeys, that you do see the difference and other people notice it, which is great. So yeah, it has taken some people till now to notice that I've lost nearly 6 stone, which is quite funny as well because it's, you know, a huge percentage of my weight I've lost in that time. But yeah, it's funny. I think I would probably notice if somebody lost 6 stone, but other people are probably just not as observant as me, and that's okay. Dormouse, you love dresses, nice to have. I love dresses, nice not to have to match tops and bottoms. Yeah, I mean, I generally wear navy trousers. I've got black trousers as well, but the black trousers, I must admit, I've not worn recently because I feel I don't really want to wear black. I used to wear black jeans or black trousers all the time. And I think I've worn my black trousers maybe like once or so in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, I'm not really that, keen on black trousers anymore. It's funny how things change when you feel a little bit more confident in yourself. But wrongly so, I think we're all led to believe that wearing black actually makes you look slimmer, and it doesn't. If you were overweight or you are overweight like me, wearing black really doesn't really make much difference. And actually, I've noticed that now that I have lost weight. I wouldn't say it makes much difference to me personally, but I do want to wear more and more colours, so it's nice to be able to do so. Um, and Jan, you're aiming for your 2 stone award by your birthday at the end of April. It's very slow, but no gain this year yet. Well, I think that's fantastic. That's such a great achievement. I hadn't had a gain at all in my weight loss journey since last May up until I think it was March, the beginning of March, I think, from memory. I don't have my book in front of me, but yeah, um, I understand how important it is to not gain weight, but I'm also at a point now where I feel if I gain weight, it's no big deal. I was saying to James earlier, life's for living. There are lots of things that I want to enjoy a little bit of nowadays, and because I have lost such a significant amount, and I am getting closer to target now, I'm currently weighing in at the sort of the low end of the 15 stone mark, um, but ideally I would like to get to 13 stone and under, and that's not that far away actually. And so I was saying to James earlier, James is sitting over there helping me out with admin and comments and things like that as well. And it's been really helpful on our MacBook, which we've bought for this channel, which is a really, really big help. Um, but yeah, with regards to, knowing that I've only got about 2 and a bit or 2.5 stone to go, when I've already lost nearly 6 stone, that 2 stone or so is not that long and far away if I keep losing every single week. And so I don't want to stall my weight losses, but I'm also okay if my weight losses from now onwards are a little bit more zigzaggy, and I take a little bit more of a scenic route, because I also don't really feel ready to stop losing weight in my head. And that's something that I have to sort of bring myself to terms with, and sort of try to work out how I'm going to do that, I suppose. And I also need to feel confident and comfortable that I can try to maintain and manage my weight going forward. And I'm also not quite at that point in my head yet either. It's taken me so long to feel how good I feel right now. I'm sort of still riding the really high wave on it, and I don't want to jeopardise myself by getting to the maintenance stage of my weight loss journey too quickly, just because of course we are going on holiday next week, and we're going on holiday in May next month. I can't believe it's next month already. Don't know about anyone else, but can you believe it's the 5th of April today? I just had to check my watch. The 5th of April today. I've been writing the date all day, but I still managed to forget what date it was. That's just me. But yeah, it's not far away from summer, so I think I kind of just want to not put pressure on myself to get to a certain weight by a certain time. And as I said, if I'm gaining or my weight's a little bit more zigzaggy, little bit more of a more scenic route journey to get to the end target, then that gives me time to think about how I want to do it and how I want to get there and how I'm going to stay there as well, which is not easy. And I think that's probably going to be one of the hardest things for me going forward. So yeah, um, Jan, I'm glad you live Vinted too. It's such a amazing money saver, to be honest. It really is. And Dormouse as well. Yeah, to be honest, heard of it for so long, Vinted, but I'd never, uh, I'd never really bought anything from Vinted, to be honest, until I started losing a significant amount of weight, and I thought, hey, I can't afford to buy new clothes all the time. It was so expensive. It was like £35 to £40 per trousers per pair, and for work, I need at least 2 or 3 pairs of trousers. And I just thought, I am not spending that amount of money on new clothes for them to then be loose in a month or so's time. I'm not getting the use out of them at all. So I have sold lots of clothing on Vinted as well over the last wee while. And thankfully, it's gone to people who want and need it more than I do in the sizes that they were in. And I'm now wearing size 14 dresses from Sainsbury's. I'm still wearing size 16 work trousers, but they are becoming quite loose. But again, obviously, as we know as women, and gentlemen as well, clothing sizes, you can't really go by them too much. You can only use them as a bit of a sort of estimate because everything's so different in size. And that can be quite annoying and frustrating as well when you are losing weight or even when you're trying to gain weight. Um, you know, it can be quite daunting trying to work out if you're doing well and what you want to achieve, or whether the shops are trying to tell you what you are size wise, and that's not a great feeling either. Carol King, hello. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you joining me. Thanks so much. Kim, thank you so much. It's lovely to see you here tonight. And of course, James is saying hello to as many people as possible for me, which is great. Jan, you have done amazing, Denise, and given me so much inspiration. Well, listen, you guys give me the inspiration to keep doing this. If it wasn't for yourselves, I know I say it all of the time, but if it wasn't for you watching my videos, I wouldn't be here making videos right now, and I wouldn't be doing this live on a Friday night. So yeah, it is all of you that give me the inspiration and the motivation to keep going as well at times. So please don't ever forget that, because you might not think that you're an inspiration or helpful to anyone, but you all do help me. And I think by seeing how many people were interacting with one another the other night on the live, it was so nice to see that a live can bring so many people together to encourage and support one another. And again, that's what I want this channel to be all about. And hopefully more and more people will join us for the journey, ladies and gentlemen. Jane's dresser, I live in the same jersey skirt every day, wear black, feel it hides me. I do own a few though. Yeah, Jane, I mean, I've lived in black clothing for many, many years, and in my mid-teen years, I would say, I had black hair, eyeliner down to here. I had often very pale lips, but I had a lip piercing. I used to wear black clothing all the time. I used to wear emo clothing, if you like, if that's what people still call it these days. But yeah, I did. I went to lots of different gigs, and in every single gig photo, I am in black. And that was my personality at the time. But I'm glad to say I'm wearing much more colour now, and I feel a lot more colourful and happy. um, there we go. So, what's James saying to it now? Just here to make sure there's no weirdos like the other night asking Denise to show her feet on camera. So, for any of you guys who weren't here Monday night, what I will just say to you is that we did have a few people jump on to the live comment section, and there was a bit of a conversation going on about people asking me to show my feet, asking me if I wore toe rings, and asking me if I would ever send photos of my feet. Now, no is the answer to all of that. So if anyone's watching in the background right now, now is your opportunity to leave, because you've been given your answer already. There was also a conversation about a lady who had put photos of shoes up on Vinted, and a gentleman asked her to send photos of her wearing the shoes, and then he blocked her or something. So it's very, very strange. So yeah, we're also getting a few different comments through now, so I'm trying to keep up. Random question for you all: is Summer World called Canon being discontinued? As far as I was aware, Anne Marie, it very much isn't discontinued. We had it the other week, and it was lovely. So I don't know whether there's maybe just a stock issue, supply sort of production issue just going on at the moment. Um, yeah, Jane's dresser, 3 weigh-ins until we go to Cyprus for our anniversary. I would love my 3 stone award before I go. I do think that's possible for you, Jane. I think it is. And I think if you can visualize it, then you're definitely going to manage it. But there's no pressure if you don't, because you're going to go away and have a fantastic holiday. So I'm sure you can catch up with it all when you're back. Um, Brenda, hi Brenda, thank you so much for joining me. Dormouse clothing sizes, especially females, are beyond ridiculous. You're so right with that. And Singer, it's lovely to have you back again. Thanks for joining me for another live. It was good to have you on Monday for my first ever live again, which is lovely. Um, Carol, I really like your top tonight. Appreciate the stuff you say, as it's very relevant to me in terms of disappointment in myself or motivation to pick up, or that I can do it. So thank you so much. I said earlier this talk was from the Next outlet store, which is about half an hour away from us. It's usually called like Next SP. I'm not really sure what that stands for. If any of you guys know, you can tell me. But it is often where you can pick up stuff that maybe hasn't quite made it to the main Next clothing stores, but the stuff's excellent quality. I've had a few really, really good bargains from there, and this was a great price. It's really, really comfortable, and it's got a little sort of drawstring thing on it as well. So if you're maybe going out walking, you want to keep your neck nice and warm, or if you've got like a buff or a scarf, you can sort of put it all in and then cozy up with it. So it's nice. It's light, nice and light, and it dries really quickly as well. And I'm glad that what I'm saying and talking about Carol is really helpful for you as well. So it's great. Singer, as I said, it's from Next. Yeah, Dormouse, inner goth, mosher, emo, whatever you want to call it, that was me. But I think a lot of people at that age get to that time in their lives where they want to embrace the dark and they want to embrace the rebel and the rebellion and all these other things. But hey, it all turned out in the end. Um, Antonia Valente, I remembered him in. I got my 3 stone award. 3 stone award is fantastic, Antonia. That's really good. And it's nice to see someone from just over the water there in Fife. So thank you so much for joining in. Um, Jane's dresser, good money and very overworn shoes, smelling holes in, and put a good description about how you wear them all day. It's just a step too far for me. That's a step too far for me. I don't think I could actually do that. Yeah, it's just some, as I said, some of the comments were funny, weren't they? But yeah, they got as good as they got, as good as they gave, they got back. For anyone that watched it, I just thought, no, I think you're on the wrong platform, you're on the wrong channel. Certainly not won't be happening here. And Carol King, what's your favourite Disney film, please? I think it has to be Snow White. When I was young, when I was about 5, my mum and dad took me to Disneyland Paris round about my 5th birthday. And at that point, I believe Disneyland Paris had only been open for about a year. Is that right?
Opened in
Maybe.
92.
Yeah, so 92, opened in 92, James is saying he knows more about Disney than me. And I went in 1996, I think. So it'd been open a couple of years at this point. But I went for my 5th birthday in 1996, and it was fantastic. I remember lots of it actually, and I do have a little photo album. But whilst I was there, I obviously begged my mum and dad for a Snow White dress from the Disney store, and they did get me it. And I used to wear it every day. After school, I used to come in and try it on every single day. And I used to float about the kitchen, into the living room, outside in the garden, wearing this dress. And then I don't know what happened to it because I don't remember. But obviously, it probably just got too small for me, and my mum probably gave it away to another child that needed it or wanted it more than me. But yeah, Snow White's definitely one of those sort of like nice and evil, sort of good and bad type stories, but there is a really nice story behind it all. For me, anyway, as a child, I just loved it, really, really did. So yeah, yeah. What's your favourite Disney film, everyone? If you have one, let me know. Um, and Brenda, SP Speed Food. Have you not learnt anything, Denise? SP Speed Food.
Next SP.
Oh, yeah. So you're right. You're right. Sorry, I'm just not getting that there for a minute. I was thinking, what? James, who's not following some world, just gave me the answer to that, which, yeah, is SP. But yeah, so I think, you've got to do what's right for you at the time. And if you're wanting to save a little bit of money and you've got to see stuff that you like, it's not just about spending money on things that are cheaper and smaller in size or bigger in size if you're wanting to lose weight, or you're maybe wanting to bulk up a bit if you're going to the gym. You might have lost weight and then you're trying to put a little bit more of sort of like lean muscle mass and stuff back on as well. There's no point spending money or buying stuff just for the sake of it, and I'm very much about that. So I could go into Vinted and I could buy lots of stuff that is two or three, four, five, £6 each, but it's really got to stand out to me, which is why this really stood out to me in the shop. And as I said, the dress that's on the thumbnail for this live, the sort of leopard print one, really stood out to me online and it just popped right away. And I love leopard print stuff. I also love purple, but I honestly have felt amazing this week at work walking in a dress, tights, and boots. And I genuinely do feel like a woman. I don't feel like I have to wear trousers and baggy tops to hide myself anymore. And it's really, really empowering. People have also commented on the difference they've noticed in me as a person, and the way that I handle myself, which again I do feel, but it's great that other people are able to pick that up and appreciate that as well. Um, Carol, nice dress story. Favourite saying at the moment? What's my favourite saying at the moment? We're just looking at each other like, what's my favourite saying?
Oh, you got to be.
Something that's PC.
Yeah. One that you are Scottish, so it could involve some swear words.
Yeah. James is saying because I'm Scottish, it could involve some swear words. So yeah, he's trying to make me out to
Geese
sound.
peace probably to me.
Yeah, I do say geese piece quite a lot because James just is always on the wind up. So yeah, geese piece is one, and give it a bye. Give it a bye, as in just leave it, stop, or give it a bye if you're Scottish, because yeah, just James is always on the wind up, and sometimes it just needs to be told, stop. So yeah, um, Carol, I had a really tasty red grapefruit today and was fed up with bananas and dried apricots. I've actually not had grapefruit for quite a long time. I do find it quite bitter, but I know that some people really love it. And it is quite an acquired taste. But I must admit, when I'm on holiday, I do try to have some of it because I do feel it's much sweeter. And obviously, it's much more fresh than we get in this country here. But obviously, we're going away next week. We're going to Copenhagen next Thursday. I can't believe it's less than a week now. Only 3 days left of work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And then we fly out on Thursday. So I am buzzing. And yeah, I'm planning on trying as many new foods and as many foods culturally that sort of interest us as possible when we're away in Copenhagen. And then obviously again we've got our holiday to Tenerife coming up next month as well. So and Dormouse, I loved shopping in charity shops when I was young on a night out. Something guaranteed, not always be the same as anyone else. You're so right. You've got to be individual, haven't you? Brenda. Which famous person would you like to have dinner with? Sorry, Denise was trying a joke. Next SP you mentioned. um, oh, famous person. Do you know, James has just mentioned this, and it's not just because he has, but he is right. Robin Williams was an incredible actor. He's actually in many, many films of mine when favourites of mine when I was a child. But one of my most favourite films, and I'm sure some of you might have watched this, you might have heard of it, is The Birdcage. I absolutely love The Birdcage, and he is just phenomenal in it. He's fantastic in Mrs. Doubtfire, but I really, really do enjoy The Birdcage. I also love Flubber. Flubber was also one of my favourite films as a child as well, and it used to make me giggle till no end. And myself, and my mum used to sit and watch it when I was young, when I was wee, and we'd sit and watch it on TV on a video. Obviously back then, and I used to rewind the same bit again and again and again when he's down in the lab and the flubber is bouncing all over the place. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. I've not watched it in years now, but now I come to think of it, I could watch it again, and I think Logan would probably like it as well, wouldn't he? Logan's at the age, obviously, he's five, nearly 5.5, that he's starting to sort of take a little bit more of an interest in sitting down and watching a film with us. but it's got to sort of be on his terms that he actually enjoys it more than playing games on his iPad or Lego or whatever it is, because if you know what kids are like, they've got a short attention span at times, and you've really got to try to encourage them to sit and just watch something. So he's quite good at going to the cinema, though. He's been quite a few times and he does enjoy it. So yeah, we're just trying to get him into a little bit more of a routine of sitting down for a couple of hours. Obviously, he can get up and about in the house, but yeah, it's nice just to be able to do that. Um, Singer, oh grapefruit, I just can't. M&S watermelon is unreal. So I've not been to M&S for fruit for a wee while, but I am planning on doing a bit of a shop this weekend, but not too much just because we are going away next week. So it will just probably be enough to do us for work days. And then we'll restock again when we come back, just so we're not wasting anything. Chocolate, can you recommend any bridal dress shops for plus size ladies? I'm getting married in September, but delaying dress shopping as I'm dreading it as a mid sized gal. So, what I will say, Chocolate, is I'm not sure what size you are, you don't have to tell me, but I would highly recommend looking at Wed to Be. So, Wed to Be is where I got my wedding dress. My wedding dress was a size 14, but they do larger sizes, and I absolutely love my dress. It wasn't overly expensive, it really wasn't. For some of the dresses I initially looked at, I went into a shop, um, and I was made to feel really uncomfortable, to be honest. My first ever experience of trying dresses on in 2021. We got married in 2022. We got married in the Japanese Gardens in Dollar, which is in sort of Clackmannanshire, central Scotland. If you haven't looked at the venue, if you've not been, or if you're planning to come to Scotland, I would highly recommend that you do look at the Japanese Gardens. But the Wed to Be shop does bridesmaid dresses, they do other outfits, and they also do the dresses. So I don't have the information in front of me because my phone is sitting here on a mount at the moment. But I would definitely recommend to take a wee look. They've got a great website as well, and the quality of the dresses that I saw, and of course the one that I bought, was second to none. They do have branches all over the country as well, so hopefully there's one near you. But like I said, have a look online. Not sure if there's anyone else who could recommend anything, but I don't think you should be, postponing or putting off looking at dresses, because it's a really important part of the wedding preparation. And even though I did go to a shop to look at dresses and I wasn't made to feel comfortable, I was told I would need to go and lose. I actually was told you need to go and do cardio. That was what the woman told me, and she owned the shop. I didn't buy my dress from that shop, shall I say. And the dress that I saw was nearly £3,000, which we weren't going to be paying for anyway, but it was the style that I wanted, so I got a bit of a feel for the style. And my dress was actually a blush, so it wasn't white, it wasn't ivory, it wasn't cream, it wasn't champagne, it was blush. So I wanted to go with that to fit in with the outdoor sort of cherry blossom Japanese theme, and that's what we did. So I hope that's helpful. James Robin Williams was awesome. Yep, he was. Um, you will be away on my birthday. Have something nice for me. I will. So we're away the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and I am off the 15th and the 16th as well. And then I'm back to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday the following week. So I have got quite a decent amount of time off. But this was James and I on our wedding. Now it's on his phone, but if I can just show you guys, that was us. So I don't know if it's going to focus very well. Yeah, that's us there. But yeah, if you guys ever want to see photos or more photos of us or anything like that, you can obviously ask if it's something you're interested in. I know people love weddings, but we honestly did have a fantastic day, and it's nearly 2 years ago, which it doesn't feel like at all. It genuinely feels like last year, if that. It feels so quick, the last couple of years, but they've been a great couple of years, and we've both kept ourselves really busy. We've both been doing very well at work. We've managed to do a lot of things outside of work and in the house, regards decorating, etc. So it's all about making it work for you, and making it, the best that you can. Um, there we go. Must make note for that. What day is your birthday? The 14th of April. Oh, 14th's when we come home, isn't it?
Is that the Sunday?
Is that a
Yeah, yeah,
Sunday? I
it is.
think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, it is 15, 16. Yeah, so we come home on the Sunday. So depending upon when we come home, we will see where we're at with regards to our videoing when we're away. We're hoping to do as much travel vlogging as we can and maybe even do a live, while we're away as well, even more than one if we can, just to show you guys where we're at, what we're doing, and sort of bring you along in sort of like live time so that you can see what we're doing. So not really sure we'll schedule them as such. I think it will just be opportunistic while we're out and about if we can. But we will take plenty of photos and we'll try to do some sort of B-roll, which is a sort of like random footage of where we are and piece it all together. So it's a bit of a bit more of an episode really, I suppose, for you guys. So if you're interested, um, is it ready to eat meat? Or so James is helping me reply to some of these comments, which is good. But yes,
Chicken,
the oak smoked chicken. Oh, I can honestly say it's the best chicken I have ever eaten. It is £4 a pack. However, I didn't pay £4. I paid 88 pence for it, and it was fantastic. So it did have a yellow label on it because it was going out of date that day, but it was the best chicken we have ever had, and that is no word of a lie. It was so flavourful and soft, and it really was just it was too good. That's all I can say. Um, Sounds like a beautiful wedding venue, Brenda. It was stunning. We had such great photos as well. We actually had a barbecue because we wanted that at our wedding. We didn't have a sit down meal just because it was an outdoor venue. But because it is a Japanese garden, they had koi carp in the pond. They have got a few bridges that go across the pond as well. They have lots and lots of woodland surrounding you, a redwood tree, Japanese cherry blossom, lilies in the pond. I mean, it was honestly just like you could have been abroad. You could have been because it was so warm as well that day. We were so lucky. And the photographer we had was absolutely fantastic. It really was just really nice. It was a very intimate, small wedding. We only had, I think, about 25 people there, including us. And that was what we wanted. That's all we needed. We didn't want to go and invite everyone and their granny along. We just wanted it to be us and our immediate friends and family, and that's what it was. But yeah, like as I said, we had a barbecue outside. We had like prawns, chicken, burgers, hot dogs, salad. We also had some really nice little side dishes to have, canapes and things as well. And the gardens were fantastic. They had their own chef. It genuinely was perfect. Like it really, really was. And I'm not just saying that, it was. Um, Thanks, Denise. I might pop into Wed to be in Ocean Terminal next weekend. I'm a size 14 at the moment as well, so hoping I find something. Wow. Okay, so I went to Ocean Terminal, so that's where we saw the Wed to be shop. So I wanted to go, and that's where I got my dress and realised which one I wanted, but they didn't have it in stock there. But the sales assistant and Wed to be in Ocean Terminal was fantastic. She was so down to earth. She was so helpful. But what I actually did is I ordered my dress from the Glasgow shop and they didn't have it in the colour. They only had it in, I think it was ivory at the time, in a 14. And I was adamant that I wanted to be in a 14, a size 14 wedding dress. It did need to be taken out at bits because it needed to fit me. So it did have to be taken out. So it's probably closer to a 16. It maybe was a 16, but I bought it as a 14. That's all I can say on the matter. But what I will say is that it was fantastic quality. It felt just as good as any other dress I picked up, and the Glasgow branch actually picked up, or they delivered my dress from Liverpool. So the Liverpool branch had it in the colour and the size, and they sent it up to the Glasgow shop. And then it was just a case of me going through and picking it up after work. And it lay in its little sort of bag and box, etc., for a while, and I wanted to try it on so badly, so I did. And obviously, I had a bit of weight to lose to get into it, but I did get into it. Obviously, I wore it on my wedding day, and that was a really big achievement for me. So, you will definitely find something there that suits you without breaking the bank, because at the same time, I know a lot of people spend quite a lot of money on dresses, and that's what they want to do with their money. That's absolutely fine. But for us, we wanted to be happy with what choices we made, but we also didn't want to overspend on our choices because we had to be very, well, I'm a very sensible person with money. I try to be quite justified with money. So we were quite set on what we wanted to buy and spend for certain things. Um, but I think my wedding dress was it £700?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think it was £699 for my wedding dress. I didn't choose an underskirt or anything like that. I didn't feel it needed it, to be honest. And I don't think I would have benefited from it because it was a really hot day and we were outside, so we were walking around the Japanese gardens basically all day, well, all afternoon. We got married about 4:30 in the afternoon and we were in the gardens for the remainder of that evening. We then jumped in my car. James hadn't been drinking, I'd had a couple at this point. And we drove away in my car with the white ribbon on it. And we had just married on the back of the car, and we drove away. And we drove to Stirling Castle from there, which was about a 20-minute drive away. And we just went up to the top of the castle and we just stood there and just looked over Stirling city centre. It was lovely. We also saw some other people that had just been married that day as well at the Portcullis. So Portcullis is a restaurant in Stirling, which is right at the very top of Stirling Castle, or the bottom of Stirling Castle. And they had just got married as well. So we were like, hello, we just got married. And they were like, yeah, me too. So it was really, really nice. So it was lovely to be able to do that. Dormouse, you both look stunning. We had such a great day. James didn't buy his kilt, he hired his kilt, but it was the right decision for James, the right decision for us. And actually, funnily enough, I've never worn my wedding dress ever since, and James hasn't worn his kilt ever since. So my dress is currently hanging up in the wardrobe in its bag. I have considered potentially doing something with my dress, but I don't feel I'm really ready to do that yet. I don't want to sell it, but I'd like to do something with it, and I'm just not quite sure yet what. I think it would be quite nice if I could to maybe have photos of us done again. Our first date was down in South Queensferry, which is beautiful between us and Edinburgh, and we love going to South Queensferry. We're actually going next month when we go to Tenerife. We're staying at the Dakota in South Queensferry just because it's a really special place to us. But at the same time, it would be nice to maybe get some photos down at South Queensferry wearing our finest again, just because we can.
Stirling Castle, don't
And we went to Stirling Castle,
we?
yeah.
Wedding.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just said that there.
Okay,
So
that's all right.
he's not listening. I just said about Stirling Castle. He was like, oh yeah, I remember about Stirling Castle. So yeah, Kim, thank you so much. We do obviously have lots and lots of photos, but what we actually haven't done yet is get any of them printed because we've been doing so much in the house in the form of redecorating, decluttering, moving stuff about, trying to work out what we're going to do next in the form of redecoration, that we haven't printed any out because it just seems like time has flown so quickly. But the photos that we do have are fantastic, but I don't want to force them into little frames. Some of them would look fantastic as large canvases or large prints on the wall, and we just don't really have, not room, but we do live in a two-bed flat, and I think we would really need to think about where we would like to hang these photos up. So we're in the midst of having a little bit of a think about that at the moment. But yeah, our photographer was great. She was just so good. So I would definitely recommend her as well if anyone's getting married in Scotland anytime soon. She's currently based in Auchterarder in Perthshire, but she was more local than that to us recently in the sort of Falkirk, Stirlingshire area. So yeah, if anyone wants her details, I'm happy to recommend her because she's great. Space lovers, hello, hi, thank you so much. Um, yep, Vicky Boring, only live in England and I eat burgers. Well, that's great. Burgers are good. England's good. Brenda, great photo of you too. Thank you so much. Vicky, do you like burgers because the other one was the same? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but burgers are good. I think most people would agree with that. Burgers are such a handy meal. Madison B, can you say hi to Madison and Amber? Hi, at Madison and Amber, thank you. Matt or MAT, hi miss, hi, thank you so much for joining me today. Hearts for my BFFs, are you British? Yes, I am. I'm actually Scottish, but I am British as well. I know some people may not say that, but I am very much, I have a British passport, so I am British as well as being Scottish. Um, Kim McAnally, have you been to Japan? We actually haven't been to Japan, King. Kim, it's something that we would love to do, but it is also a holiday of a lifetime, isn't it? Really, and our honeymoon was a holiday of a lifetime. Let me assure you of that. We went to Orlando in Florida, and we were there for nearly 2 weeks. And yeah, I mean, we did everything we wanted to do on our honeymoon, and we haven't been away as far travelled as that ever since. So us going to Copenhagen next week is the first time we'll have been on a plane since we got married. And James and I have only been on a plane once together, and that was when we were going on our honeymoon because of COVID. So yeah, first time leaving the country was as a married couple. How funny is that? But yeah, COVID times stopped us from doing a lot of different things like getting on planes and trains and but it didn't stop us from planning our wedding, and that's the main thing. We were able to still keep it minimal as to what we wanted. It wasn't COVID which was dictating that to us like many others, but at the same time the safety net was that we were having a small wedding, so there was less chance of it being cancelled or having to uninvite people, which just wouldn't sit well with me at all. Um, I think I've already answered that. Are you British? Yes, I am. Um, while I'm obsessed with your voice, thank you so much. Yellow sticker foods taste even better than M&S. They do, Singer. They do. They taste so much better. I think it's the best place to go round about 7 o'clock at night when you can check into M&S and see exactly what they've got going on offer, especially on a Friday and especially before a public holiday. Those are the days that I would say are probably the best. Um, Yep, and I get blue light card as well. My first visit to Scotland will be the Maybank holiday weekend. Going to see Take That, the 3 nights in Glasgow. Can't wait. That'll be amazing. You'll really enjoy it. Glasgow's such a friendly, happy city. I have lived and worked there and studied there for many, many years, and it's a very easy to navigate city. No one will cause you any problems. Everyone's very friendly and accommodating. Um, where are you staying? And also, if you want some food place recommendations, I'm more than happy to give you a little bit of an idea as well. So please let me know. Carol, wedding sounds great. I like cherry blossoms. They were amazing. Um, Singer, blue light is only online, which is annoying. My daughter will send pics of her in wedding dress gaming at home as she loves her dress so much. I've not done that yet, but yeah, I would quite happily. I have said to James a few times, I put my dress on and just because I can, but I just haven't. But it's lying through next door in our wardrobe, just gathering. Well, it's not gathering dust because it's wrapped up, but it's just sitting there. But I'm okay with that now. As I said, I've not really thought about what I'm going to do with it. Um, Thanks, Jan. Hope you have a lovely holiday. Bye for you. Bye for now. So thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Um, Orlando's something else. It is, and it's somewhere I'd never ever been before. James has been fortunate enough to be there several times in advance of our wedding, our honeymoon. So he was really great at being able to tell us like, where to maybe try or where to go or what's good value for money or what's a must do thing or must see thing to do while we were there. And we actually didn't hire a car when we were in Orlando because it was so expensive. So the price of car hire had went up by what, 50%?
Oh, more. When we went, it was at the worst. When I used to go, I could hire a car for 2 weeks for maybe $500. When we priced it up, it was over 2000.
Yeah, yeah, so it's even more. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard James there, but when James used to go to Florida, it was about $500 for 2 weeks car hire, which is still a lot of money. But for 2 weeks car hire, it's actually not too bad. Within the UK, you pay a couple £100 a day for a car. So $500 for 2 weeks is pretty good value. However, like James was saying there, if you didn't hear him, it was going to be costing us about £2,000 for 2 weeks car hire, and that didn't include any over and above costs of that. Like, yeah, it was just
Insurance, yeah.
unreal. Like the insurance, they want paid, they want like money put down straight away as well, and it's money, money, money. Unfortunately, when you go to America and Orlando and Florida, Disney, etc., we went to all the parks. Unfortunately, it was expensive when we went, but it's even more expensive now. And it's quite sad, really, because it always has been a very expensive place to go to for people. I think it's always a really big holiday and it's a big deal to save up for to go to these places, often with, children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters and things like that. But now, I mean, it's unaffordable for us. We just can't afford to go back anytime soon unless they reduce the prices. And even then, it's something that we need to consider going forward if that's what we want to spend our money on. But we have come across a place called Yas Island, which is in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And that's a place that we are currently looking at for hopefully maybe next year, the next again year. And we would be really keen to try to go. So if any of you have been to Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, then please feel free to let me know if you have and how you found it. We're really, really excited and keen to try it, but again, it has to be the right price for us. Otherwise, it's just not quite in our sort of range. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're staying in Campanile Hotel. It's beside the Hydro. Yeah, we were at the Hydro recently. We were actually at the Armadillo SEC. We were at the Scottish Camping Show in Glasgow, and the Campanile we drove past, didn't we,
Yeah.
when we were going in and out
That's
of the
looking to.
car park. So yeah, it looks pretty central. Looks quite good. And there are a few places nearby as well for food, which is not bad. Amber Plays, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. And Pink Sky, love from Bangladesh. So, wow, thank you so much. It's really, really nice to see people joining from all over the world, which is just mad. I can't believe it. Johnny Roberts, hi there. What's the story there? Um, Not really sure what you mean, Johnny Roberts, but my name's Denise. This is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming along. At the moment, I'm documenting my weight loss journey, and I have almost lost 6 stone in weight since last year. So yeah, if you didn't know that already, then a big welcome to the channel. John White, evening Denise and James. Apologies for being late. You've got nothing to apologise for. I'm just grateful people are joining in. So thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Carrie Ann Wilkinson, sorry. Hi. Thank you, Carrie Ann, for joining me tonight. I hope you're doing well. Alicia Keen's Slay Cats. Have you been to Los Angeles? Unfortunately, I haven't. James hasn't been to Los Angeles either. But what I would say is that we have looked into the sort of like what would you call it? The sort of
Center.
multi-center holiday deals that we see quite often. So it's often
New York,
like
Vegas, LA.
yeah, New York, Vegas, LA, and that's something that we have looked at. But again, it needs to be the right sort of price point for us and the right sort of dates and things as well, because they're often at times of the year that you've often got very little annual leave left. So you would need to have that sort of pre-planned in your head a little bit about if you're wanting to keep some annual leave to do a holiday like that. Some of the deals are often in February, March, and by that point, most people have used up their annual leave by that point. So feasible, probably not. But it's something we would like to do. David Deans, hi David Deans. That's lovely to see you coming on tonight. Thank you so much. Dormouse, we were there for my parents-in-law's 50th wedding anniversary and daughter's 13th at Christmas. Wow, that's fantastic, isn't it? I'm sure that'll have been amazing. David Deans, hi. Johnny Roberts, talking about holidays in Miami or something. Good night, God bless. Thank you for joining me, Johnny Roberts. Lovely to have you on for a short time. So yeah, thank you so much for all of you just taking the time to join me tonight. I really appreciate it because I know it is a Friday night. But yeah, cuppa and catch up. I'm not sure if any of you guys at home have got a cuppa with you at the moment or your other drink of choice. I'm not here to judge if it's not sin free, by the way, because if I wasn't going to be getting weighed at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow, I probably would be having a little glass of wine, which we were very kindly given and gifted from one of James's friends. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but yeah, just everyone at work today was talking about going home and having a really nice, lovely dinner, takeaway, movie, chocolates, all of these things that can't really do right now in too much excess. So I do have a few things here that I'm going to show you, just because of course it wouldn't be Scottish Foodie Lassie without some Scottish drinks. And I was asked about these the other day on the live on Monday, so yeah, I'm going to just show them to you guys now. So this is the new Iron Brew Extra, and it's the wild berry slush. So I'm not sure what it tastes like. Obviously, I've not opened it yet. This is an 8-pack. It was on offer in our local Sainsbury's for £3.50 a pack. Whereas what we did see on Sunday before we did the live was that they were £4.50 and £5 per pack in some of the other supermarkets. So I just took the opportunity to get them when they were £3.50 each. So I did get this one. James and I are going to do a little bit of a taste test for you guys, because I know you sometimes like that. And I'm getting quite thirsty because I purposefully didn't make myself a cup of tea, because I knew that I would talk too much, as always, and it would be cold by the time I got to drink it. So yeah, this is the Iron Brew Extra Raspberry Ripple one. And again, obviously there's 8 cans in there. Trying not to get the light too much in that. So yeah, really looking forward to trying this again. Obviously, as I said, it was £3.50 for the pack. So I think, are you up for a drink, James?
Yeah, go.
We'll do that. Which one would you like?
I'll go for I'll have the raspberry ripple.
Okay, so James is going to have raspberry ripple. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, it looks lovely. It's a really nice can. Look at that. It's like an ice cream cone, isn't it? So yeah, James is going to have that. They are cold, by the way. They're not just like room temp. They are actually cold. We had them in the car. And then I'll have the wild berry slush. So we'll see how it goes. And we can get James's opinion, very valid opinion on his Iron Brew. It's even better because he is from Yorkshire that I'm making him drink Scottish drinks right now on my channel. There we go. Right, and this is what the wild berry slush is like. So I think that looks really cute. So yeah, let's open them. Almost in sync there. Let's have a wee go with this. Oh, that's lovely. That's so nice. It really does taste like a slushy. It's very, very sweet. It doesn't taste like Iron Brew at all, actually. It is very, very berry. I would say that. So if you like fruity drinks, you would definitely like this. It actually tastes a bit like grape soda. So yeah, lovely. Really, really nice. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, that's very good. The raspberry ripple, exceptional.
Very good. Yeah, I'm going to have a try. I'll give James this one.
See which one's the best.
Yeah, see which one's the best, so you can go and buy it, and I will definitely be buying more already, so yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, the raspberry ripple's the best.
It tastes like drumstick lollies.
It does, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
The little drumstick, what are they called? Drumstick chews?
I think it's just drumsticks.
Are they just called drumsticks?
Yeah. Swizzles.
The little swizzles, sort of squishy, squashy things. Squish'ems.
What do you mean, the chewy ones rather than the actual lollies?
Yeah.
Squish
Yeah, the squish'em ones, yeah. But it does taste like drumsticks, so if you like drumstick flavour, this is sin-free. There are no sins attached to these drinks, so I would definitely recommend it if it means that you get the little sweet treat that you want without spending your sins on it as well. But yeah, I do get terrible, terrible travel sickness. I was, all I'm going to say, very heavily medicated whilst I was in Orlando. So I have probably got one of the strongest travel sickness medications going, and every single morning as soon as I woke up I had to take my travel sickness tablet 2 hours before we went to the parks. And I have had travel sickness since I was a young child. There are photos of me looking rather green about the gills on teacups and the sort of, what they called, the sort of chair plane things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my gran and granddad used to take me to all these places to put me on rides or like shows or whatever you want to call them. And I would be a different colour in every photo because I hated it. It made me so ill, and yeah, it was a horrible thing. And I must admit, like, the anxiety of feeling that bad is enough to make me just not want to do anything that puts me out of my comfort zone in that way. But yeah, the travel sickness thing was such a bad thing that when James and I first started dating, James was driving his car reasonably, not wacky races or anything like that. We were about 5 minutes away from where we'd set off from, and I had to get James to stop the car. Now, bearing in mind, I think I'd met James maybe 4 times at this point, 4 or 5 times at this point. I'm like, no, no, you need to
Just like
stop.
peeking.
You need to stop. You need to stop. 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 So he pulls over into lay-by. I get out the car, and I'm standing at the side of James's lovely clean car being sick because I was so travel sick as a passenger. But I must admit, I'm much better now, am I? I'm much, much better. So I think it's a lot to do with anxiety and a lot to do with panic setting in my head about travel sickness. I get a banging headache for any of you that have it, and it just comes on so strongly that you can't shake the headache. It then makes you feel sick. And often the only way that my travel sickness goes away is by taking medication or by going to sleep and genuinely sleep until the next day. That's the only thing that makes it go away. And it does ruin your whole day. I mean, it genuinely does wipe you out. But at the same time, the medication also wipes you out as well. It makes me very sleepy. We were watching the Carousel of Progress, which is a really old sort of show ride at Orlando Disney, and I couldn't stop myself. My eyes were like this, falling asleep because the tablets just kicked in. As soon as I sat down, my body was telling me to sleep. So it's quite, disabling really, because it does wipe you out so badly for the day, or it does me anyway. So if any of you are similar, I really do appreciate how difficult it can be in a day to day, especially people that suffer with inner ear imbalances, which I think it is what I've probably got, and also vertigo. Really is so disorientating. It really is. Um, Dormice and me, I have stayed at Campanile. It was good. Take that awesome live. I'm next down in June. Oh, that's really good. Dormice, thank you. So looking forward to see my family. I have never seen different flavours of Iron Brew down here. So Kim, they have only just been released recently, probably in the last week or so, I would think. So it might just take a little bit longer for it to trickle down to England. But if it's helpful, I'm more than happy to send some to you, Kim, if that's helpful for you at all. But my goodness, they really are delicious. What a sweet treat. And I think, on a nice day, sitting outside with one of these would be perfect. Really, really nice. And again, no sins. So even better. Duchess of Mayern, sorry I'm late. Fave Disney film for me is the original 101 Dalmatians. Oh yeah, Dalmatians. I love that so much. Pongo and is it Pongo and Perde? Yeah. Yeah, Pongo and Perde. Oh, so lovely. We actually saw a Dalmatian the other week, didn't we?
So a brown Dalmatian.
It was that brown, and it looked beautiful. It looked very majestic, shall we say. And I think it'd probably go with you, the Duchess of Mayerns. It sounds like it's a dog that you would have. But yeah, really, really nice dog, and they are stunning. But yeah, it's a classic, classic film, isn't it? It's really, really good. Um, Anne Marie McBrear to Denise, what's your email address? I'd love to know some good places to eat in Glasgow. So it's scottishfoodielassie@gmail.com. So please feel free to to send me an email. I would also recommend having a look at It Is On if you haven't already. So It Is On is similar to Voucher and Groupon. I would say it's so much better. We use It Is On a lot, and we have had some fantastic meals out in Glasgow with deals, and what a money saver. But a lot of the places I would recommend are probably going to be very close to the subway line as well, so that you can get around to city centre really, really easily, and you can also travel a little bit further afield, and you're five minutes, if that, from the city centre on the subway. So it's great, and it's, like I said, a beautiful place, a beautiful city to visit. There we go. And Singer, did you visit Discovery Cove whilst we were in Florida? We didn't visit Discovery Cove actually, but we did go to Universal. We went to Animal Kingdom. We went to, what was the other one?
We went to the mall.
We went to the mall. We went to all the Disney
Magic
parks.
Kingdom,
Magic Kingdom, Animal
Epcot.
Kingdom, Epcot.
Hollywood Studios,
Hollywood Studios,
Universal Studios, Islands of
Universal.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do a million things at once because I'm trying to think the answer and video and look at the comments, and my mind's just gone blank. So I've also got a wee Disney expert sitting over there. So why stress out when I can just ask them the answer? So yeah, we did them all. Epcot, I think for me was one that I would personally love to go back to because there was so many different things to do, and I suppose as well like food and culture and lots of different sort of like sets from like all over the world that we were able to just see a little bit of. But the food was excellent, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Um, and Hollywood Studios, Universal. Universal for me, I think as an adult, I think Universal's probably a bit more of a sort of all rounder, and I think you probably is probably better value for money. Disney parks, the prices of some of the stuff was unreal. Drinks were very very expensive, whereas in Universal you can buy a cup, which maybe was it $20 or so, but then you could get so many refills.
Unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited refills. So it was worth it. So for that from that perspective, we did get better value for money, and it was probably less crowded with younger kids and buggies and things like that than the other parks. But we
And Harry
still
Potter.
we still enjoyed it. We also obviously we did lots of different things when we were there, and we enjoyed the Harry Potter as well. So it was fantastic. And we did get a photo in front of the Universal Ball as well, which everyone crowds at to wait for it to come round again. We were that couple, so obviously we wanted it. I wanted it. Um, Donald Merkel. Hi, Donald. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're well. Love the Lego castle. So yeah, this is our. I don't know if you can really see it. You can see a little bit of it behind us. So this is our Disney Castle Lego set. So I've inherited it through James because James had it before he met me. But we have got it pride of place in our living room on our little desk over here. And we do love it. It's not one of the new ones. The new ones, personally, for me and James, we actually like this version. The new ones look a little bit more. What would you say?
Well, it's based on the 50th anniversary castle, so
Yeah,
it's
but
like
the bright
bright
blues
blue.
for me, I like the ones that we got. The sort of darker, more muted blues. I think it just looks a little bit more traditional in a Lego set. But we were in Orlando for the 50th anniversary celebrations, and we have got some amazing photos from that event. We obviously went to the fireworks show. There was lots of things that were on offer, like different cakes and different ice creams and tops. I've got a top next door that's got the 50th anniversary on it. I've also got a Loungefly bag, which was a 50th anniversary special. I do only have the one Loungefly bag, so if anyone's watching who collects them, then lucky you, because I would love to have more than one, but I just don't have the space for it. But that bag's really special to me, and it's like a sort of pearlescent bag, and it has the 50th anniversary sort of detailing on it, so it's a really special one to me. When we were away in Orlando for our honeymoon, I only saw one other person the whole time we were there with the same bag. She actually approached me, and she was from Canada, and she had never come across anyone else with that bag before, and lots of people were commenting on my bag because they hadn't seen it before, so it was quite nice to be able to do that as well. um Donald, hello everyone, much love. Thank you so much, Donald. I'm sure everyone's really appreciative of you joining in tonight. Thank you. um Very expensive. We went in May, lovely weather time. We were there in May as well, as James has said. Epcot, I would love to see again. Health insurance for me now, way too much to travel. So you are UK only holidays. Good job, I don't like the sun and love the rain. Well, you must be loving the rain right now, Dormouse, because all it has done for the last couple of days is rain. And it's rained that much today. There has been some localised flooding in our area. We also had some snow this morning as well. I was driving to work and I didn't have snow here, but some cars had quite a significant amount of snow on them. But before we knew it, it was all gone because the rain came back. So really mixed bag of rain at the moment, and sort of different weathers and things coming in because of the storm. So if any of you are out and about, please do take care and be super super careful if you're traveling on any sort of back roads, country roads and things, just with trees coming down as well, and of course subsidence. So just be super careful. Um, Singer never made it to Epcot. Yeah, so Epcot is really, really special. It was just such a different place. I didn't even really I didn't know what Epcot was before we went actually. I'd never heard of it before, but again, it is something we would love to go back to at some point and we will, but it's something that we definitely need to factor into our sort of budgets and stuff.
Here's a pop quiz for everyone watching. Epcot is an acronym. Who knows what it stands for?
Okay, so James is saying Epcot is an acronym. Does anyone know what Epcot actually stands for? We're the one asking you guys questions now, by the way. We've just flipped that coin. Anne Marie, email sent. Thank you so much, Anne Marie. That's lovely. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I have got a few emails, one of which I will speak about in a wee minute, because I've not had a chance to reply yet. But I knew I was coming on to do this live tonight, so I hope the Duchess of Mearns is still watching. If you are, I will be going over what you've sent me in a few minutes. Denise, I just head to my daughter's house as her birthday gift lounge fly. I've nicked one of hers this week. I bet she has lots and lots of them then. But yeah, there are so many. I mean, you could buy a new one every month. They bring new ones out all the time, and obviously they're all different themes, different characters. So yeah, I really like the classic one that I've got, but I would also be open to and happy for another. Actually, that might be a good shout. I could have a look on Vinted. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, and do you have kids or want to have kids in the future? So James has two children. So James has got a daughter who's nearly 15. She's 15 in July. And James also has a son who is almost 5.5. We don't have any plans to have any children together, but that's not to say that won't happen, but we just don't have any plans for that at the moment. So that's kind of where we're at the moment, yeah. Spirit Brothers UK. Spirit Brothers are paranormal investigators. Hello from the UK. Hi, Spirit Brothers. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you perhaps come across my channel from my sort of comments and following of Ghost Theory. If that is the case, then hello and thank you so much for taking the time to join me tonight. Obviously, we we are a very different channel to Ghost Theory because we discuss different things, but overall we love watching Ghost Theory, and we have been to a few paranormal things as well, just in the sort of local area where we've gone, and it's been a bit of a sort of ghost tour type thing. We've been to Bannockburn House, we've also watched Spooked Scotland, we've been past Castle Mingus, and we've also got a tour booked soon to go to the Stirling Old Town Jail as well, which we're really looking forward to. I've been to a few things in Edinburgh before, so yeah. We do have a bit of a strange thing that happens though in this flat, is that there are orbs that go all over the screen.
Has anybody seen them on the videos? That's the question.
Yeah, has anyone ever noticed when I film in my hallway, because it's got quite a big hallway, that there are orbs floating about the screen? Has anyone noticed them before? No one's commented as such. But if you have noticed them, please let me know in the comment section just now, and I will give you a little bit more information about what's happened before in the past in this house, because it makes me smile and laugh, but for some people I think it would probably freak them out a wee bit. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Are you far from Queen Margaret Uni? So yeah, we are quite far from Queen Margaret Uni. Queen Margaret Uni from us is probably about an hour.
Yeah.
It's probably about an hour's drive round the bypass in Edinburgh, so it really is round the very, very other side of the sort of east side of the country from us. We're more central Scotland, so I know that my accent's probably a bit mixed because I've lived and studied and worked in Glasgow and Edinburgh, and I don't live in either city at the moment. I'm kind of in the middle sort of section area, but yeah, I know Glasgow and Edinburgh very, very well. So yeah, I do know it. Is that particularly close to you, Singer, or is it close to something that you know about maybe? Dormouse.
Was Singer from Ireland?
Singer from Ireland. Yeah. Yeah. Singer in Edinburgh. Yes. Yeah, so we're right between both of them. I will definitely have a look on Vinted Dormouse. Thank you so much. I'm really excited now to go take a look and see what's available. and didn't realise you were into supernatural and ghosts. My friend's house had a regular visitor who would close doors, definitely not a draft closing them. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've not had anything like that happen in the house that I'm aware of, but we have had at times sort of like noises in the house, and it's happened to me for years. I've lived here for nearly 7 years now, and James has lived here with me for how long? Two,
3 years.
3 years ish. Um, but what I would say is that I used to say to James that I would put something down and I would not be able to find it for the life of me, honestly. And I would look and look and look, and James would be like, "Oh, you've probably just put it down somewhere else, or you probably just moved it." But actually, it's happened to James and Logan both as well. Whereas, like, you could go and search something in a box or a drawer, and you could genuinely look through it 2 or 3 times, can't you?
Yeah.
We'll go away, we'll come back, we go, and you think
And it's just on the table.
it's there. It's so strange, but I'm not. It's not a problem for us. It's not giving us any concern, so we're absolutely okay with that. And we do live on the grounds of an old asylum, so take that as you will. um, yeah, Singer, you're from North Island, but was over there before. Yeah, I thought you were when James said that, and I thought, yeah, you did say that the other night, so I do apologise. But yeah, Queen Margaret Uni is about an hour from us, so we are closer to Glasgow, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
closer to Glasgow than we are Edinburgh, but we do live very accessible. We live in a very accessible area for both cities. So it's very, very easy for us to get, either going down to England, going to Glasgow, go to Edinburgh, and either airport, as James had just said there as well, which is why we're flying from Edinburgh next week, but then we're flying from Glasgow when we go away in May, just because it really isn't much difference in travel time or anything like that. And cost wise, it isn't any cheaper to go from one than the other. But what I will say is, if you do live in Scotland like us, you'll know as soon as you cross the border into somewhere like Newcastle or Manchester, you will notice the price difference on going on holiday could be something anywhere from a few £100 to £1,000 or more difference. And it's quite a shame, really, isn't it? But hey, that's what it is. It always has been that way. It's like people, I remember when I was young, people would drive down to Manchester, or their mums and dad would drive down to Manchester to go on holiday because it was so much cheaper. And it definitely is. And I think going there is probably not too bad. But if you've just been on a 8, 9, 10 hour flight with connections, etc., in between, it's quite hard on the driver who's assigned to drive back up the road again, unless you're staying in a hotel afterwards. And of course, that's extra money, which obviously you're hoping to try to save. So you've got to sort of play about with it a wee bit. Dormouse, you had first experience at one of my nanny's houses. Hers was on a site where monks had lived. So comfortable around spirits and ghosts. It is really interesting. It is really interesting. I work in a building which I've been told is haunted as well at work. I mean, these are things that people can say, and obviously, if you're a believer in that, then that's absolutely fine. But obviously, each person to their own. That's all I can say. But thank you so much, Carol. I really appreciate you coming on. I hope this has been a good vlog for you. So please do take care, and I will catch up with you the next time that you comment on one of my videos. Thank you so much. So yeah, what I was going to just get on to just now is, I know a few of you have emailed me in the past, and I really do appreciate that. But what I will just say is that I've had a few emails, and I have been asked in the past as well, about sponsorships and sort of donations and things like that. So what I would say at the moment is that I have been approached several times in the past, for various things. So shoes, footwear, makeup,
clothing, like sports
yeah,
stuff, like leggings and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, sportswear, leggings, like James is saying, hair products, like a skin laser, a treatment box thing. Trying to think what else.
What was that one yesterday? Was that clothes as well? Fashion wear, like
Yes,
sportswear.
I got one yesterday which was about clothes wear, fashion wear, things like that. I've also been contacted by researchers And I say that because there is no credible researcher who would email me in the fashion that they did. But at the end of the day, I am not here to promote products to you guys. I'm here to tell you my story. I'm here to show you what I get up to, here to show you how I enjoy my life and what we do in our free time. Of course, making all of these videos for you is in my free time, and I thoroughly, thoroughly do enjoy it. And I really appreciate that you guys are taking your time out tonight, as with any other video, to watch me and to find out more about me. But of course, in doing so, as I said earlier, all of you give me the inspiration to make these videos. But I'm not here to sell you products, and I have to believe in the product myself. So there has been a little bit of controversy, I would say, over the last wee while relating to some people on YouTube having things sent to them. That's really all I'm going to say, because there are various people and various items that have been sent. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to be a sellout. I don't want to be that person, and I don't believe in it. If I don't want the product myself, I can't expect you to buy it or to buy into it. And I'm not a salesperson, so I'm not here to do that either for your sales. But at the same time, these companies issue things to people at a loss. Oh, I say a loss, it's not a true loss, but they issue products and gifts and things to people at a minimal loss to them, for them to make a hell of a lot more profit back, because people then go and buy and order these things that they see their inspirational people in their lives buying and ordering and reviewing or getting gifted. And I think, I do want to be supportive of every person that views my channel, whether you're a viewer, a subscriber, or a member. And I don't want you feeling like I'm misleading you in any way. So I know some people have, said that they want to sort of promote certain products, or they feel that they're relevant to your sales. Personally, for me, if I was to post or promote everything that I had been sent or offered to be sent, honestly, I would be doing a video every week. And I haven't done any of those videos yet. It's not to say that time won't come where a sponsorship feels right to me, and it feels right to me so I can share it with you. But that time isn't going to be here anytime soon. And so I don't want you guys feeling misled or feeling like this is going to happen to you if you're watching my channel, because that certainly isn't the case. And myself and James have spent so much, honestly, so much of our hard-earned money on making our channel what it is already. And as I've said to many of you before, our aim is to continue to grow the channel more and more, so we can give you even more and even better content. So for example, we've been offered lots of things, we've said no, but what we have invested in is very much worthwhile. So we do have, we've got our phones, which we had already, but we did go and buy proper lighting, which we've got over here. We've also got some microphone setups. We've got some microphone, like, body sort of microphones.
Yeah.
We've got so they're DJI ones. James is going to get up and show you guys. He's going to just walk around and see if he can get them. We have bought a MacBook. There's something falling over. We have bought a MacBook. So these are our mics that we use here. That's what they look like. And there's like a transmitter in the middle, and then there's also a microphone there that I wear, which you will have seen if you watched my videos. So these are by DJI. I'll just show you on there. We also have the DJI Action 4 camera, and this is what that looks like. So this is what I use to video the content for you guys. This is what I use to film it. And we also have a few other accessories which we've bought to take on holiday with us, so that you can see why we're doing what we're doing. So of course, I've mentioned to yourselves before that we are wanting to take you with us on holiday as much as we can, and to show you a little bit of Copenhagen, and of course when we eventually go to Tenerife next month, and you can come along and enjoy some of that with us, which we're really, really excited about doing. And we will be posting that on YouTube, of course, like I said. But we have also bought this, which is a backpack mount for the camera. And basically what this is that it will strap onto our bag like that, and it means that we can walk about with our camera. And let me just see,
Yeah, just on.
just on like this.
No, over. There you go.
Oh, there we go. So that's it. That's what it'll look like there. All right. So we've got our tripod in front of us. We've also organised software, which is called Final Cut Pro, and Final Cut Pro is Apple's own video editing software, and that is a subscription which we've had to pay for. So that is where we put our money. It does all go into the channel, and as we've said before, we want to invest what we can into the channel so it makes it better for you. And that's why I don't want to become a sellout, because we've worked so hard to do what we've done already. And I hope that it's, relatable to you. I hope that you understand that we do it in our free time because we enjoy to do it in our free time. And I think if that ever changes, that's when we need to take a wee step back and just look at what we're doing and how we're balancing out our life, because it can become overwhelming at times to work full time, have life full time, and also YouTube. But I try to give myself a bit of a balance over the course of the month, and I hope that you guys are enjoying that so far. So,
So the day that we start selling HelloFresh to you, we've been given a check for £1 million, and it's enough to sell out.
yeah,
That's the long and short of it.
yeah. As long as you guys are happy, that's all I want, and I want to be happy as well. I don't want to be selling something that means very little to nothing to me just because I'm getting given something for free. That's the bottom line. I'm not like that in life. I'm not like that as a person. I very much am a person that will work and earn what I want and need, and so if I don't already have it, I probably don't need or want it. That's the kind of the consensus. Um, Mia, thank you so much. Donald, thank you so much. And Singer, thank God for that. Those folk would sell their granny. So I certainly wouldn't sell my granny. My granny is nearly 84 and she's great. But I do understand what you mean with that. But we all are different people. We all have different aims and goals of our channels as well. And that's absolutely fine. People have got people have got a right to be able to promote what they feel they want to promote as well, and that's absolutely okay. But for me personally, I need to tell you guys that this is how I feel, and this is why I haven't done any of these promotional videos, or I think it was only how long, maybe a week or so, maybe 2 weeks into my YouTube channel about my weight loss,
Yeah, that was the Fitball
when I'd
trainers.
been
Yeah.
contacted by a company called Fitville. I wouldn't pay money for their trainers, let alone promote them. So that's how I feel about that.
And they
Um,
kept hounding you for a few emails. They kept saying, just take the stuff.
yeah, I actually
Make one
emailed them
video, take
back.
the stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I emailed them back and I said, I'm really thankful for the contact from you, but I'm not interested. I don't need new trainers. I also don't want new trainers. And it's not relevant to what I'm talking about to my subscribers and my viewers of my channel.
And this was
So,
before Slimming World as well. This was when it
yeah.
was just the Too Good To Go content.
Yeah,
So it really
this
wasn't
was
relevant.
before Slimming World. It was when we were doing Too Good To Go content last year. So yeah, as I said, it's got to be right for us. It's got to be right for us, and it's got to be right for you, because you guys are the ones that matter. So I hope that answers the questions, and I hope it just sort of gives you my stance on where I'm at, in my sort of YouTube journey. And of course, we're all learning every day, but sometimes it can be a steeper learning curve for others, than others as well. So we just need to be careful. Tina, hi, I love your videos. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying them. And if there's any questions that you have, if you're maybe going back to look at other videos that you maybe haven't seen yet, or anything from the very beginning to where I'm at right now, then please feel free just to ask. I will try my very best to get back to you all. And if you do want to ask any questions directly, you can email me at scottishfoodielassie@gmail.com. And Ayal Muslim, hi. Mr. Blocks, hello, thank you so much for joining in tonight. And John White, James has replied to you there about the Guy Armina Princess. So yeah, that's where we're staying. It's an adults only hotel. Really, really looking forward to it. And Dormouse coming on to channel, not only motivational, full of useful information. So yeah, I'm really glad that you feel that way, Dormouse, because I'm just being myself. I want to help you guys just as much as you help me. And if that means that I can spend some of my time on a live chat on a Friday night with yourselves, and as I said before, it's such a lovely little community space and safe space, I feel, for people to have a bit of a chat with one another as well, which you wouldn't otherwise get to do apart from just the odd comment reply to one another. But I feel if there's a bit of a flow of a conversation going and a bit of a topic at hand, then it means that you guys can have that chat as well, which of course does boost your morale and hopefully will continue to support yourselves and one another on your own journeys, which is lovely. John White, it's nice to see that you've been a few times to Tenerife as well. I have only been once, but I thoroughly did enjoy it, and I went 2 weeks all inclusive, and it was a fantastic place. So we're really looking forward to it. We also follow a YouTuber called Scotsman in Tenerife, and he's called Kevin. I did mention him the other night on our initial live chat on Monday, but he is great. He's really funny. He's from Paisley, and his YouTube channel is basically on visiting different areas, different places, and he will give you the lowdown on where to go and maybe where not to go, what places you can look out for deals as well, and also getting a feel for different restaurants, maybe different parts of the resorts and things as well. So he's a great, really nice guy, and he reminds me of a Glasgow taxi driver just with his chat. And it just makes me remind me of living and working in Glasgow and studying in Glasgow, so it's quite nice. So yeah, so just from recommendations, I feel like James, I like the locals places. Yeah, we really like seafood, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we really like seafood and fish, and so we probably will try to eat locally where we put like really really local places like the local restaurants as much as possible, because if the locals are going there, then it's a good place to go, which I'm sure many of you would agree with. But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. But what I will say is that we've got a few things planned. And Kim, you're having to leave, but thank you for a lovely time. All the best for them. Morning, Denise. Thank you so much, Kim. It's lovely to have you on. I really do appreciate it. You take care. Thanks. So yeah, we've got a few things planned on the run up to our holiday to Copenhagen next week. But one of the main things is that we have gone and ordered ourselves some merch. We're at that point now, guys. So James and I have ordered some personalised hoodies and some t-shirts from a local business. And it's a local business to James's work, and he has a few colleagues who know of this local business, so we've been given really good recommendation. But what we did want to do is to take our Scottish Fairy Lassie channel abroad with us, as you know, to Copenhagen. And what better way to do it than to get a hoodie and a t-shirt made up. Now, it was something we have toyed with for a wee while, several months actually, but we feel we're at the stage now where it's a nice time of the year to be wearing less jackets and coats.
I hope that it was snowing today.
Well, it was snowing, but we're going to Copenhagen, so I'm hopeful that
They'll be worse there.
well, James is not filling me with joy and hope here, but anyway, I'm going to be wearing my Scottish Fairy Lassie hoodie come rain, hail or shine, and he will too as well. So James has got one being made as well as a t-shirt, as have I, a jumper, a hoodie and a t-shirt. And for the first time ever, I've got a medium jumper coming. I can't wait to wear it. I think when I started my weight loss journey, I probably would have been an XL, if not a 2XL in size. And to be honest, I wouldn't have had the confidence to wear it anyway to promote my channel, because what promotion did I feel I had to give? No one. I didn't have anything. I didn't want to promote to anybody. And obviously I was doing YouTube for yourselves. I was making my YouTube channel. But at the same time, you know, when you are heavier and you have less confidence and less self-esteem, you don't want to draw attention to yourself. I certainly didn't.
Here's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
We picked up a Too Good To Go bag last week, and we filmed it, but we didn't know if people would still want to watch it. Is that something people would still like to see? We can edit the video and put it out there. It was interesting because it was for one of the new Asda's that's taken over the petrol stations, the old Euro garages.
Yeah.
You didn't used to get Asda on the app by itself, so it is like an Asda Too Good To Go.
Yeah. So guys, I don't want to repeat everything James had just said if you'd heard him, but if you didn't hear him, just because he is sitting a wee bit away from me on the couch, he was just asking, you know, obviously we did start our channel off with Too Good To Go, and that was what prompted us to start YouTube. However, as you'll know, I stopped doing Too Good To Go because I was actually causing myself detrimental harm in my health from making YouTube videos, which that should never be the case. And James is obviously asking if any of you would still like to see any Too Good To Go videos. For any of you who may be interested in that, we did pick up one from Asda's last week, as James had just said, on the app. We did film it, but we haven't published it just because it's not slimming content. But it was a little bit of a test just to see if we would get any Slimming World friendly foods in that bag.
There wasn't.
So there wasn't, basically, is the gist of it. Um, but at the same time, I understand that some of you guys do like the Too Good To Go content, or it may just be slightly different. But I also don't want to alienate any of you either and think that, oh well, she's doing Slimming World, but then she's also eating or buying Too Good To Go food, which isn't Slimming World friendly. So I just want to try to get your sort of thoughts on it, really. I suppose if any of you have got anything you would like to add, or request or share, that would be really appreciated. John, I see you're quite keen for that, so we'll try our very best to get that up soon. Sammy Richardson, just doing an online shop, what was the one thing you could not do without in your shop? So it depends on what shop, Sammy, I must admit. If you're able to let me know which shop you're doing an online shop with, I've got different special or favourite products from different shops. But what I would say is the Fibre One bars are great as a snack. You can also have them with some low calorie ice cream as well. So it's a little bit like cake and ice cream, cake and custard if you get the low sin custard. Little Moons, James is saying Little Moons, 100% Little Moons are fantastic, but only get them if they're on offer. Please, please don't pay full price for them because they are beautiful and they're tasty, but they're not worth £5 or £6. Not in my
Also,
opinion, anyway.
don't buy them if you've not got willpower not to heat the box. You
Yeah,
need to be able to just have one and put it down.
yeah, just have the one and put the rest back in the fridge. Don't eat all, how many are there?
6.
6. Don't eat all 6. Or is there 8 in the pack?
No, it's 6.
Is it 6? Yeah. So, yeah, you've got to have willpower to just take one portion out and put the rest back. So, yeah. Tina, I've lost similar weight to yourself. I'm exactly 2 years in. I've had a break. However, started some world again, second way in tomorrow. So I'm binge watching your videos for inspiration. Oh, Tina, that's such a lovely thing to say. I'm so glad that you feel the videos are helpful to you. As I've said before, if you feel you have any comments or questions or anything you want to ask, feel free to comment on the specific video, or you can email me at scottishfoodielassie@gmail.com. And I'm more than happy to help you. I really will be thinking about you tomorrow. Obviously, it's your second weigh-in, and I've got my weigh-in tomorrow morning at 7:30. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Obviously, this week has been mostly on plan, I'll say to you at the moment. But I have had the odd wee treat here and there because it's been Easter, and I've worked through most of it, to be honest. But there have been a few things James and I have had we've enjoyed together, and I think it's important to do that. And as I said earlier, at the very beginning of this video, or near the beginning of the video, is that the whole zigzag of weight loss, I feel a little bit more confident with now, a wee bit more comfortable, because I'm less worried that I'm going to gain weight, because if I do, it's not the end of the world, it'll come off again. And gaining a few pounds is not, it's inconsequential really, because at the end of the day, I know that I've lost nearly 6 stone. That's not going to just pile back on overnight. And I know that I've got such better coping mechanisms now than ever. And so if I do feel like I'm eating something, nice or special, or something a little bit, less than Slimming World friendly or Slimming friendly, then I know it's probably just a one-off and I'll be back on it again straight away after it. So I'm not as worried. But what I was saying earlier on is that because I am in the lower half of the 15s now, 15 stone mark now. I was over 21 stone. I'm now 15 stone, 4.5, I think I was last week, something like that. Um, I'm now at the point where it's like, okay, I'm only a few stone away from my goal, which is to be between 12 to 13 stone. And ideally anything under 13 stone would be fantastic, but 12.5 stone would be my absolute dream weight. But I need to see if I can maintain it, and I need to see if my body will allow me to do that as well, because everyone's got their different weights which are comfortable for them, and I don't want to get myself stuck into a diet for the rest of my life to be 12.5 stone, because that just isn't worth living for. We've got so much more to do in life than diet. Obviously it's important to be healthy, but we've got to have a bit of a sensible and, compromising approach at times about these things. Um, Marilyn, yes, I do go to classes. I go every week. I have changed classes, so this is my third class. So the first one I went to, I wasn't made to feel very comfortable or, very welcome by the consultant. If I'm honest with you,
Has anybody been watching Fat Friends on Netflix?
Fat Friends,
The
Netflix.
consultant.
Has anyone watched it? If you have,
James
all I'm
Corden.
going to say is it's got James Corden in it and Ruth Jones and Alison Steadman. Really, really great actors and actresses.
It also starred your first consultant.
But do you hear him? James is saying it also starred my first consultant. So my first consultant was quite tough, to be honest. I actually used to cry a wee bit. So I used to leave work and I would drive straight there, and I used to get myself a bit emotional, to be honest, before I went in. And there was a difficulty with getting my certificates as well. So I was doing really, really well, and I was told I couldn't get my certificates. We were too busy. I was holding people up.
You didn't stay the whole hour, so.
Yep, I didn't stay the full hour. There's also times that I couldn't stay because I've got a very demanding job and I can't always get away. So then when I could get away, very rarely on time, shall I say, but I would be rushing over to the other side of town to get weighed. I would go in and get weighed, and because I wasn't staying, it was like I was a second class citizen, to be honest. So that didn't sit well with me either. And I must admit, years ago, that would have been enough for me to just give up and give in. But I was owed, I think it was about three certificates from Slimworld, and I ended up having to contact head office because my consultant wouldn't give me them. So I did give her feedback. I don't think she was too happy with the feedback, but the feedback was honest and I didn't feel comfortable. So I need her to know that because I don't want anyone ever, ever, ever feeling how I felt. She would speak to other people, not speak to me. And I was losing weight like I was losing weight like no tomorrow. It was great. It was falling off and I was doing excellent. I was doing excellent. I was doing everything I should have done, but it just didn't feel it was enough. And that was quite disheartening. So I then moved group closer to work this time, so less stress after work trying to get there. And I was going there for months. However, my consultant left her post and she went to move to England. And so her class was reformulated into a different consultant's class, but the location moved again, and the location wasn't handy for me or the time. And so that's why I moved groups. So the one I go to now is very, very close by. It's only a 5 minute drive away, just over 5 minute drive away. And that in itself for me is 7:30 in the morning or 9:30. And it's much, much easier on a weekend to be able to do that. I feel much better starting off in the morning and just getting it done. I don't feel at the moment I need to stay to group. I know it's part of the Slim World journey, image therapy, but for me personally, I've been doing okay. And I know that if I am struggling, then I'll stay. But for the time being, I've been doing all right. So Sammy, I'll check the little moons out. It's as the shop. They deliver tomorrow. Add some bars. Yeah, the bars are really good. What I would also say as well is Kit Kats are quite low sin as well. I quite like the white ones. The white Kit Kats are quite nice for a little treat with a cup of tea or something like that. And I would also say frozen chicken breast slices are great for meal prep. And the Bird's Eye golden rice pyramid bags are also a big favourite of ours in this house as well, from Asda, Tesco's or whatever. And the bags of steamed vegetables, so you can get Asda's own or Bird's Eye, depends which ones are on offer. We just go for whichever one works out cheapest. But the vegetable bags are 1.5 cents for the rice bags are 1.5 cents for the whole pyramid, and basically it's like golden rice with veg in it. They also have the little vegetable bags which are cookable in the microwave, and they are sin free. And of course, the chicken is sin free as well if you buy the diced chicken breast. So it's really, really handy for shoving together a lunch. I'd love to see mini meal plans with a shopping list. So I have put a few things up recently, Tina. I don't know if you'll have seen them yet on my community post. So I have done a few sort of like meal diaries, food diaries on there. I'm happy to go through, maybe on my next live perhaps, I could show you what we do in the form of how we plan for our food for the rest of the week, if that's helpful. So that's something we could maybe take on board. Tina, Feel exactly the same. I'm not as worried as I've found ways to cope with treats, meals, or days. You've done amazing. Thank you so much. Um, Tina, watching it this week, it's so true to life. It really is. And yeah, I think, at the end of the day, it's it's got to be right for you, and everyone's got their own little path. Now, for me, I was, and I am still really proud that I managed to go from May till I think February or March of this year without one single gain, even over Christmas. But do you know what? There are a few things that I probably could have or should have had or enjoyed a little bit more of because it was Christmas or it was my birthday or it was James's birthday, or there are things that we've done differently over the last sort of 11 months or so. But for me, clearly, I have lost a lot of weight and my health and my mental health is so much better. So I've got to look at it from that perspective as well and try not to equate happiness to food or food to happiness, because that's just not true. And that's why I've got myself into this situation, to be honest, with overeating to try to feel better and convincing myself or my brain believing that food actually does make me feel better. However, when I overeat, I actually feel terrible for it, and I know that that is because it is terrible for me. Whereas before, you're lulled into a false sense of security. So that's the best advice I can give you, is that your brain is too good for most of us to understand, and it is very, very powerful at allowing you to believe that you need something to get by, like food. And it is like an addiction. People may say, oh, just stop, eat less and exercise more. It's actually not as simple as that. And if you look into the psychology of weight gain, weight loss, weight maintenance, binge eating, eating disorders, it's all very, very, very closely linked. But what people don't see is obesity as an eating disorder or a food disorder. They see it as obesity, and they see that people are just fat, lazy, they don't do exercise, they don't move. All they do is sit down all day and stuff food in their faces, which is actually not true. I held down, and I have held down, a permanent full time job all of my adult life. And I've been to university several times to do lots of different things. And I've functioned on a day to day. But food has always been a coping mechanism of mine from quite a young age. And I think that's probably due to my mum dying when I was 13, and also having lots of other loss and sort of childhood adverse events, or it's called ACE. And the higher your ACE score, the more likely you are to have a weight issue. There is actually evidence on that, so if you guys want to look at it, feel free. um Emmanuel, are you a teacher? No, I'm not a teacher. Nope. um what's your best
Riz is what the youth call charisma.
right?
I'm down with the youth.
James is down with the youth, he says. He's older than me. I don't really know what to say to that. I'm not really sure. What do you think?
You're an exceptional nurse.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. To be honest, it's very difficult to put it down. Um, yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I try to do my best. I try to do my best in everything I do. I'm very hard working. I put a lot of pressure on myself, but in doing so, I know that if I do it well to my standards, then I know it's done well. And I think a lot of people are like that. We can't be perfectionists in life because that takes away from the task or the job at hand, and often that can then impact upon the outcome, which will not be perfection if it's late and it's not met to deadlines. But for me, I've got a high standard, and I think that's all we can try to uphold, which is great. So Emmanuel, sorry for your loss. That's okay, thank you. Sammy Richardson, is this your first time on Summer World, and does hitting target worry you as well as make you happy? So it's not my first time on Summer World. I've been dieting for 20 years, I'll be honest with you. When I was 11, I was 11 on the scales. When I was 12, I was nearly 13 stone. And the list goes on and on and on till I was about 18, and I managed to stick at 18 stone. And that felt like an achievement to me. I know it's not an achievement, but for me, when I've always struggled with my weight from being young, I went to the GP, I went to the dietitian, I had blood tests done, there was no reason for me to have sort of weight issues, but I did have weight issues. I was very active as a child. I was playing basketball, I was on my bike cycling, I would go out walking, to have to take the dogs out. I was always busy. I was always out with my friends as a child, but I was always bigger than everyone else. But I was also taller than everyone else as well. So I did get bullied very, very heavily throughout primary school by my friends, meant to be friends. But I did get bullied very heavily by friends and other people as went up through high school or secondary school as well, up until the age of about 16, 17. It has impacted me in my adult life as well by people saying horrible things to me or thinking that they can make a mockery out of me because of my weight or my size, because I don't look or I'm not the same as others. I've also had people who I've been on dates with who have said, "You're just not my type because you're too big. We just wouldn't look good together. You know, me and you, we wouldn't look right." And it was because I was too fat. And actually, I wasn't at the point. I really wasn't. I was about a size 14 back then. So that just shows you how warped people can be. But at the end of the day, I am the one who's making these changes to my life. And if I want to do that, then I will. I don't need a guy or a woman to tell me otherwise. It's very much all self propelled improvement. And as I said before, I'm very fortunate that I've got a lot of you who are in similar positions, unfortunately, who have got your own experiences. But in doing so, the richer your experience you can share with me, and of course, I can share with you. And it's much more, relatable for other people who have these issues and situations that have gone on. Hitting my Slim World sort of target, if you like, does give me a little bit of concern because it's like, okay, well, what do I do next? How do I keep you guys engaged? What do I do to keep you interested? How can I stay relatable? And I want to continue to do that, but because we also have travel interests, we are going to be doing a little bit more travel, and of course lifestyle. So things that we enjoy doing in our free time. I know a lot of you are quite invested in what I'm doing right now, and you want to follow me through on all of these journeys. So I think that it's nice to know that I've got you to support me, and I'm certainly here to support you guys as well. Emmanuel, say hi to James for me, please. Emmanuel says hi. Riz, is that alcohol? It's a chat up line. I've never heard of that before. um, Wananive, hi Pookie. Hi, thank you. Um, does James supports Aberdeen Football Club? No, he doesn't. He supports Leeds because he's from Leeds. He's from Yorkshire. James was born in Barnsley, but he was brought up in Leeds, and he's lived up in Scotland for how many years?
18.
James has
Yes.
lived in Scotland for 18 years. Um, yeah, you've lived up here for
Life.
for half of his life. So yeah, but we do go down now and again when we can. Wains are cruel. Yeah, Wains can be really, really cruel, really, really horrible. But at the end of the day, I'm okay. I've done well for myself. I've tried hard. I've fought hard. And I've got everything I've got around me because I've worked for it. So I think that's a real testament to realizing that these people just say things because they feel they can, but it actually doesn't make a difference. Irfan Bayat, hi, hi. Thank you so much for joining me. And Jill as well, hi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming over to join me. Zara, I subscribe. Can I have a shout out? Yeah, Zara, thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really do appreciate your support. It's lovely to see new people joining in on the conversation, and of course, also subscribing. So hopefully you guys can keep up to date and up to speed with what I get up to over the next wee while. But please feel free to go back and have a look at some of my other videos that are maybe slightly older, or you can look at the more recent ones as well if you want to do that. So thank you. And Jill Holmes, can I have a shout out please, as I am a subscriber? Yeah, Jill, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming along. I hope that you're enjoying this live so far, and I hope that if you have viewed any of my videos so far, you've also enjoyed them as well. Yeah, it's lovely to have all of you joining me tonight, so thank you. Tina, gosh, a similar situation. My mum died when I was 16. I had no brothers or sisters. My dad worked away, so food became my best friend. So I don't have any brothers or sisters either, and my dad did work away. So once my mum died, I was looked after by my grandparents, which is my mum's mum and dad, and my granny that I mentioned earlier is still here. So she still is a wonderful granny. So she's nearly 84, but my goodness, she's never in. You have to book an appointment with her to see her. So by all means, if she's able to do what she wants to do, then she does it, and we're happy for her to do that, aren't we, James? So
Right, yeah.
yeah, it's been really hard for her over the last couple of years because we did lose my granddad, um, and I didn't get to see him during COVID, so that was really really tough. But what I will do just now before I start to get emotional is show you a photo of us. So that's me, my gran, and Logan. So yeah, that was on Mother's Day this year. So yeah, it's just nice for my gran to be able to have Logan, and when I was really really young, I used to call my gran Granny Net because her name's Jeanette, and Logan calls her Granny Net. So it's quite nice. And um, even though we don't see my gran really often because we're busy, she's also busy as well, which is great at her age. But when we do go, we have a really nice time, which is what it's all about. Scotland sounds scary. Well, do you know what? I don't think it's any worse than any other country in the world, and I think there's probably a lot worse going on in the world right now. But unfortunately, bullying does happen in everywhere, whether it's the workplace, whether it's children's playground, whether it's at home, whether it's within groups of friends when you're an adult or when you're a child or a teenager. It does happen everywhere. It happens online, unfortunately, and that's why James is here to help me manage the page tonight, because there are people that are not necessarily here to post nasty stuff as such, but they are here to cause problems on the page, and that is not what I want for you guys. So, thankfully, James is being really, really helpful with the comments section tonight, and he just moderates it as well, so it does help. And Dormouse, psychological side of weight loss is as hard as losing weight. I stood and spoke to a full room at the Memorial Comedy Night on Sunday, but I can't do those pics for just me to see as I lose weight. So yeah, Dormouse, I think standing up and giving, your sort of speech about, your husband, your friend's husband, and being able to go and be part of that and support your friend through the last few weeks has been excellent. I think it's a real testament to you, and I think you should be really proud of yourself because I'm sure your friend will be incredibly, incredibly happy and will probably feel quite safe knowing that she has such a good friend in you. So well done. Thanks, you love my vids, Zara. Thank you so much. Um, Sammy Richardson, you're more than okay, and I am sure most people in here would think that. I am so grateful for your videos and feedback. Well, thank you, Sammy. I really do appreciate it. As I said before, I am just being myself. I'm just here to try to help you guys and just to talk about stuff that is real. I'm not here to make it up. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. And I'm not here to sell anything to you guys. As I mentioned earlier, if you've missed out on it, I'm not here to be a sellout. I'm not here to sell you products that I wouldn't buy or recommend myself. Anything that I show you on camera is something that I have bought. So whether it is our video and equipment, we've got our microphones, our DJI microphones, we've got our camera, we've got our action camera, DJI Action 4 camera. We've got our little sort of holder for our backpack when we're going away on holiday. Now, these are things we've bought really since Christmas.
Yeah. Just to try and make the channel better.
And we've also got our MacBook, which we bought so that we can edit the videos. So I'll just show you that. Everything we've got, we have bought ourselves because we want to invest in the channel, and it's something that we want to do for as long as we can possibly do it. So it's something that means a lot to us, and that's why I want to get it right for you, and I don't want you feeling like, I'm just here to try to promote stuff, because that's not what I'm here to do. And I'm also not here to promote Slimming World either, if any of you think I am. I follow Slimming World because it works for me, but I know that it's not right for everyone, and you have to find what way and what path's right for you. And at the end of the day, each person's journey and path is very, very different in life. We know that already, but you need to do what's right for you. And Slimming World was and is right for me right now. I'm not saying it always will be. I'm not saying that by the time I get down to say 14 stone or 13 stone, I might want to try to do some calorie counting, just so I can try to get into a more free way of eating, I suppose, with regards to enjoying a little bit of what I want every day without worrying about sins as such. But at the same time, I know that it works for me now, so I have to try to filter all of these bits of advice and things that I've learned into my day to day moving forward. And of course, as I reach closer and closer to my target, um, there we go. And my Instagram. So I'm not going to promote my Instagram because I'm considering taking it offline. I don't use my Instagram much at all, and to be honest, doing YouTube on top of a full time job. James has a full time job. We have Rocco. He needs full time looking after. We also have James's children as well, my stepchildren, who also need a lot of support and guidance. I don't have much time for Instagram, to be honest, and so that's why I don't post much on there. I do have TikTok, but I also don't post much on there either, purely because YouTube is my main platform, and that's where I would like to keep all of you so that you're up to date and you're not going to miss out on any of the relevant information that might be helpful to you as well. And yeah, Logan loves a visit to Granny Net, so he always gets money and Haribo. So that's the way to Logan's heart, and it's also the way to James's heart as well as Haribo because he loves Haribo. But what I will say, guys, is it's almost 10 o'clock at night. I really do appreciate that many of you have spent the last almost 2 hours with myself, speaking and, having a lovely conversation between so many of us tonight. But I think what I will do, if there are no other comments coming through at this stage, is I will leave it there. So I will say goodbye to all of you just now. I am going to go and take Rocco out for a walk. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you for coming along tonight. I really, really do appreciate it. You all mean the world to me. And for anyone who's joined on live tonight who is a new subscriber, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you ever so much. It really does mean the world to me and James. We put a lot of effort into this channel over and above what we do on a day to day, and to see that it means so much to all of you at home is just absolutely lovely. So please do take care. Have a wonderful sleep when it comes. If you have any terrible weather near where you live, then please do take extra care and just be that little bit extra cautious on those roads as well. And as always, I will see you very, very soon. And I will be filming my next weigh-in video tomorrow after I've been weighed in the morning at 7:30. So I will be up early, early, early doors. But the early bird catches the worm, as they say. So thank you so much for joining in, and I love you all. Take care. Thanks. Bye.